9. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, once they've all finished shaking each other's hands like the All Blacks, I am going to ask each of them a quick question and then present them with a participation certificate. I'm going to ask the questions in order of alphabetical order of surname, just in case anyone wonders what the order is. So to start, Mr. Biddle, and I will give you a microphone as well. Kingy wrote that his notable accomplishment is as a dad, granddad, husband, son, brother, cousin and friend. Obviously his family is very important. Kingy, tell us, how many people are you those people to?
Sorry?
How many people are you those people to? How many in your family? Tell us about people.
Oh, can you stand up? There are many people in my family. One of the things though, what I'd like to, here's our family here. Can everyone stand up? Can I ask everyone to stand up, please? And I'd like to introduce my Toastmasters fund. Family are important. One of the things that I enjoy about the International Speech Contest journey is because, yes, we write the speeches and we deliver the speeches, but we take the speeches to various clubs, to various meetings, and our Toastmasters whānau get to have a little say or get to give some recommendations. And so when we get onto the stage, there's a little bit of you in our speeches. That's the beauty of whānau. As the saying goes, e hara taku toa I te toa takitahi, engari taku toa takitini, which simply means kingy is quite short but yet humble. What it means is my strength does not come from me alone, it comes from those around you. And that's you, that's my whānau at the back, and that's definitely, we saw all of you today when we 9 got up to speak. Tēnā tātou.
You told me that virtuosity was something that inspired you. Tell me, how do you do that? How does virtuosity inspire you in everyday life?
The speech that I gave today was inspired by Chesley Sullenberger. I remember Olivia, my partner and brilliant presentation coach, coming out of the office saying, a plane has landed on the Hudson River. And I said, oh, is it on TV? She said, no, it's on Twitter. Within seconds, I mean, of course this thing went around the world. And so that was amazing of itself. But then when Chesley Sullenberger said anyone with my experience and training, he is a hero, obviously, but he did say that anyone could be a hero if they put in the work. And virtuosity to me is the sign of someone who has put in the work. You may know the quote from Lee Iacocca, who saved General Motors from a terrible problem in America. He'd been around for ages, but no one had heard of him. And he said, after 20 years of hard work, I became an overnight success. These gentlemen would all agree that this is not about overnight success. If you're inspired by anyone, please be inspired by someone who says it was hard work. And all of us are capable of that hard work. Chesley Sullenberger, Arnold Schwarzenegger, any of you.
Arun, you told me that one of the things you love is goal setting. Tell us why that's so important to you.
Thank you, Michelle. Goal setting. Why is it important to me? Because I'm terrible at it. One could wander or meander aimlessly through life, just doing stuff, being busy, without actually achieving anything. So it gives me great satisfaction and joy to see others achieve their goals when they have a clear vision and they accomplish it. I have a friend who was climbing Everest about a week ago, and he set that goal 5 years ago. Unfortunately, he couldn't complete his goal because of the avalanche and the earthquake, of course, but he's going to do it again next year. So I just feel overjoyed, the pursuit of happiness, when you see other people becoming happy, and if you can be part of it, that's what gives me joy when people get their goals.
Jeremy, one of your comments interested me particularly. Jeremy has completed the Alcatraz Ocean Swim, and I want to know why anyone would want to do that. And how amazing was it?
I like to set myself goals and challenges, and I'm a bit of a swimmer. I do some of the ocean swims around the country here, and I just thought that would be a really fantastic thing to do. Why not go across there and jump off a boat and swim in 12-degree water and avoid all these sharks that they talk about? It's called a shark fest swim for some unknown reason, thankfully. It was an amazing experience and I loved it. It was about 12 degrees in the water, so my feet were numb by the time we started, but it just adds extra encouragement to get to the finish line first. That was not me, unfortunately, but yeah, it's just about goal setting and ticking something off the bucket list. We all have goals and dreams that we've all talked about in various forms or another, and it's just a matter of setting yourself something and verbalising it. Tell other people, because then they'll hold you accountable and there's no backing out.
Matthew has a very long job title, and I'd like him to tell you what the job title is and what he actually does day to day. Matthew.
Okay, so thank you, Michelle. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a rice maker chief executive. It was kind of said in jest. The reason I put it was because I am a rice maker at a sushi place. I recently got a part-time job, but I put chief executive at the end because it sounds better. This is probably going to be quite short and sweet. That's basically it. There's not a lot. Well, actually, there is a lot to it. I am the rice maker. There's no rice, there's no sushi, there's no money, there's no business. So everyone relies on me, which is kind of funny because I don't know how to make sushi, I don't speak Japanese, and yet they hired me, and they teach me in Japanese, broken English, and I try my best, and after a couple of weeks of being out of the frying pan and into the fire, I've managed to cope, and it's a busy job. It's non-stop from 7 till 1. I don't have a time to scratch my rear. So, yeah. Sorry actually to leave you with that image.
Craig, you had an unusual quote on your form. I'd like you to tell us what the quote is. I also want to know what your mother was expecting, and have you always taken her advice? Do you remember what it was?
The quote is, never leave home without a clean pair of underpants. I'm the fourth child, so my mother has had lots of visits to A&E and hospitals, so they never had any money, but she was a great knitter, so when we went to school, we were always the best dressed kids in the school, but we were always getting into trouble, we were always breaking bones, and she just knew that something was going to get cut off us, and she just wanted that last experience to be clean underpants. They're getting old now, I'm not sure that they're very good at doing that themselves now.
remember what I put on my form, by the way. So.
Well, Grant, you put on your form that you play instruments in an Irish band. So what's the band called and how many instruments do you play?
Well, why did I put that on? I don't really want to talk about it. Can I talk about something else? I'll talk about that. I play mandolin, bass, guitar, and do a little bit of singing. And that band that I did put together was an Irish band. I'd never played Irish music before. I used to play in horrible pub bands, and I remember once a friend coming to pick me up and saying, oh, I'd really like to take you to this local bar. It's really small, there's only about 20 people in there. There's this really cool group playing. I went, oh, great. So I went along, and it was literally these people who had picked up instruments and were playing in the corner, and one of them was playing one of those big box things that you sit on, a couple of guitars, a violin player, and they were playing for a couple of beers. And they were loving it. And then I went off to this gig and got paid $300 and had a miserable time. Playing Summer of '69 to drunken idiots too. Yeah. And I remember looking at those people and I just felt so jealous, and I went, I want to do that. I want to enjoy music for the sake of doing music again. So an Irish band, drinking Hobbit music.
Army told me a lovely quote, it's one of his favourites. It says, our weaknesses make us think, but our strengths make us grow. And I'd like Army to tell us if that's true for him.
For a period of, before I joined Toastmasters a few years ago, for a period of 25 years, people have been pushing me to Toastmasters. 25 years. It took me that long trying to get into Toastmasters. I went to a few clubs. I tell you the truth, I didn't. Yes, I had that fear for a very long time of public speaking. Until 3 years ago, I went to Sydney, Australia, and this guy was speaking, motivational speaker, and I sat down there listening to his stories. I said to myself, man, I can do it. I said to the woman next to me, I said, madam, do you know how much they pay to do that? She said, $35,000 for 20 minutes. I said to myself, I can do that. I kept on looking at the things I didn't have. I kept on looking at my weaknesses, which I didn't know that my passion is public speaking. Until I joined 3 years ago, I realized, whoa, I like public speaking. I failed many times, but I keep on trying.
And last but not least, Justin. You told me you work for an organisation called Breathe Life. I'm fascinated by what that might do.
Breathe Life. I'm an insurance salesman. Breathe Life is about instilling value into people's lives through dealing with companies and their staff. I actually just started, I'll tell you a story. About 3 weeks ago I lost my job. Made redundant, so that was a good theme today to listen to as well. Lost my job, and I had no prospects to go to. My wife was stressed out. You don't want to stress the wife out, trust me. Everyone feels it. And so I phoned a friend who had asked me before would I want to jump on board his firm and help him out. And I jumped on board and helped him out, and it's the best thing I've ever done. I mean, it's one of those topics that people sort of shun away from. We all need it, and it's definitely changed me. I mean, the universe works in mysterious ways, and it's definitely worked in a mysterious way for me today. Except when I get home, I've got a list of chores that my wife. Look, it doesn't matter if I'm here, that list of chores will be there because it's Mother's Day as well. So, to all the mothers in the audience, happy Mother's Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, as contest chair, I'm actually supposed to ask each contestant what division they're from and what club they're from, which I have neglected to do. Sack me, Karen. So I'm going to call out divisions, and I'd like that representative to step forward so you know who is your representative today. Division A, Army. Division B, Army. Division C, Craig. Division D, King. Division E, Matthew. Division F, this is where I get confused, Justin, thank you. Division G, Grant. Division H is Jeremy. And Division J, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, your contestants.